Frostpunk 2 has officially had its release, and with that, I think it's time we talk about its predecessor. Something that always kind of piqued my interest about the Frostpunk series is its rather different approach to the RTS scene. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for calling this game an RTS, but hear me out. But first, my name is Dai, and let's take a look at this unique society survival game by 11-Bit Studio. As a quick disclaimer, if you enjoy this type of content, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe for any and all future content. Now, back to my quick statement. The reason I categorize this game as an RTS and not so much a city builder game is due into just a couple aspects from the actual game itself. When I think of city builders, I think primarily of SimCity or City Skylines as pretty cardinal aspects of city builder examples, and I feel Frostpunk 2 definitely falls in line with this aspect a lot more than Frostpunk 1. When playing Frostpunk, I akin it to more of a stronghold appeal and less of a city building appeal. Now, that's not to say Frostpunk hasn't placed a nice spin on the town building genre, but the game heavily emphasizes your ability to manage your resources in order to survive this harsh, icy world for which humanity strives to fight for their survival. Now, as the game progresses, you the player will not only need to balance your resources, but your workers between resource gathering for city production and food for, well, food and medical expenses. As time goes on, should the player not balance the needs of these workers, they can grow sick and perish. Luckily for you, the developers made it easy for managing these needs through developing new technology, incorporating new laws, and inducting doctrines to help lead or subjugate your people. With the advancements in technology, the player will eventually be able to send scouting parties back into the cold wastelands in search of supplies, survivors, or hopefully other thriving communities. The world building is very well done, making cold as imposing as it is, I would say is a pretty good accomplishment in terms of a survival game. The mechanics are fairly straightforward. Understanding how the world works may take some time, but all in all, it's not too bad. I feel the developers for this game did a great job with the overall experience of the game, but with all good things, there are bad. Let's go over a couple of the negatives that are present in the Frostpunk world. First and foremost, the game has an extremely slow start and can be deceptively difficult to those who may be looking for a sit back and relax city building experience. But once you understand how the game works, it turns straight into an easy mode point and click feel. Secondly, the game feels as though there's no replayability once you've beat everything the game has to offer. Yes, there may be an endless mode, even that can get rather boring after a set amount of time in the game. Third on this list, when you have scouting parties out in the wild, there can be do or die events where you will have to choose the outcome. But the events take place so few and far in between that a player can essentially go through the entire game without even encountering one of these events. And lastly on my list are the automatons. These things can absolutely break the game. The concept of having a machine that can work non-stop to generate resources almost negates the need to balance workers. They can even be boosted to provide a 90% efficiency bonus to structures that they're attached to. I feel as though instead of being able to construct these, they should have remained a powerful asset to be discovered. All in all, this game has its ups and downs. But for me, with the overall art direction, sense of dread, and city building elements, 11-Bit Studio made an exceptionally well game. In terms of rating, I'd probably place this game probably around a 7 out of 10. It has room for improvement, but also provides a lot for players to experience. At this point, I'd like to ask your opinion on the game. The good, the bad, and always the ugly. Everyone experiences things differently, and I'd like to hear what your experiences were. I want to thank you for your time, and I'll be sure to see everyone next time. Bye-bye!